Hey beloveds, I wanted to share something that I observed over this weekend and noticed. So not only did we now enter in our Lunar New Year, which I will be celebrating moving forward because the lunar calendar is the oldest calendar. In fact, the Gregorian calendar is less than 200 years old, whereas the lunar moon calendar is over 30,000 years old. This calendar is what guided and provided women throughout the ages so much power, insight, and of course, psychic gifts and abilities. But I digress. What I really wanted to talk to you about today is, as I shared, now that we've entered into this year of the dragon and we are in this Lunar New Year, this very powerful and palpable energy of the age of Aquarius, which is why I wrote on my blog, the sync, SYNC, or sync. So it's time for us to come into alignment, not only with our bodies, but our minds, our spirits, and our souls, both collectively and individually. And this is what the age of Aquarius is all about. But I really wanted to share something with you that I observed over the weekend, because and it might not be, I might get some comments about this because it is a touchy subject. But let me pose this to you. If knowledge is power, and we have been told to know thyself, why do we pay entertainers and pay so much money to be entertained instead of on education? I say this because when you think about the magnitude of people that watch and have parties and do all of the things around this experience called the Super Bowl, paying these athletes, paying millions of dollars for commercials and celebrities and all these different things. These people are at the highest echelon, make some of the most money, and yet we follow them, we watch them. I'll give you a perfect example. So everyone is talking about how the headliner of Usher wasn't paid for his performance. Why? He doesn't have to get paid, because all of you who watched that performance, which coincides with his new upcoming album, which also coincided with his newlywed. He just recently also got married. And so we spend so much time and so much energy into being entertained. And yet education is often shoved under the rug, is also often displaced. This is one of the reasons that I left my job as a librarian, because I knew I would never be the super librarian that so many, I would never even make the amount of money that people who are entertainers make. And many of us are in our day-to-day lives, in survival mode, and we're watching celebrities in thriving mode. And we wish and dream and want and desire and try to manifest all these things to live a life like them. But the truth is, if knowledge is power, why do we give in to paying these entertainers? Another thing I wanted to add, knowledge is power. And think about how much knowledge was gained from every TV set, every Wi-Fi connection, the alcohol sales, food sales. Look at how much information was gathered about people during this, few hours long event. Now, my inner Bruja also has some thoughts on this, and my inner Bruja wants to talk about how this game is the kickoff truly to a deeper, more, how can I say, elusive experience. And I, as I've seen many other Black and Indigenous people of color speaking about, that this game is really the kickoff to a big huge ritual, a ritual that includes the celebrities and the higher ups. We know that governments and all kinds of, again, people with most of the money in the world tune in onto this event. So the station, the location, the alcohol sales, as I've said, all of these different players reap all the benefits of this one-time event, right? So everybody's watching that event. Everyone's doing this ritual of having this experience. And then it follows by tomorrow's kickoff of Mardi Gras, which is a time of debauchery and letting your hair down, of having revelry and partying, right? And then on Wednesday is Valentine's Day. And we know that Saint Valentine was not all about love. In fact, I'll save that. You can Google that information. But Saint Valentine was actually, in its oldest predating time, was considered a pagan festival that was called Lupercia. And this pagan festival was where they also sacrificed animals to empower themselves. Okay, so those three events line up perfectly. Then there is a Virgo full moon, and in between there is, in the United States, President's Day, which celebrates two presidents who are on money. And I know back in the day, we used to call it dead presidents, right? What is that considered? Money, right? So there is the Super Bowl. There is the kickoff of Mardi Gras. There is Valentine's Day, which I just shared with you was a pagan ritual sacrifice day. Then there's President's Day. Then there's the power of 222. Oh, and don't let me forget that it's also during Black History Month that all of this is going on. During this month of February, with a leap year, a short time, a shortened calendar. Okay, pay attention to all these. So then we also have our Virgo full moon. Because remember, President's Day is always 3 weeks, the third Monday. So it's really not about the day, it's the third Monday of the month. So that's very specific, right? All of that, if you think about it, is a huge ritual. This is why knowledge is power. So look deeper at what you are experiencing. Look at all of the money, the energy that went into it. Look at all the people focused in on one experience, talking about one experience, all the energy that came through all of those TV sets. It's no accident, beloveds, that domestic violence is its highest on that day. So pay attention, beloveds, because as I said, knowledge, this knowledge, intuitive knowledge, is power. And this is also where you know thyself. And what is your intuition trying to tell you? I know I might get some slack about this, about all the celebrities, but you got to think about it. It's designer clothes, it's expenses. It makes you want and desire. It gives you some type of feeling, right? And all of that feeling fuels something. It's time for you to start to harness your power during this year of the dragon and during this Lunar New Year. Stop spending your energy on entertainment and invest in your education of yourself. Now, beloveds, what is your intuition trying to tell you? Until next time, Ashe.